How do you think the ideas that you wrote about in this book, Daring to Love, have influenced your relationship?
Oh, that's interesting. I think writing this book, it actually made me feel more powerful in my relationship. I was a little bit held back in being romantic. I was always fun and a good friend and a good companion, and I like being sexual, but just in terms of being romantic, I was afraid of being vulnerable. I was self-protective. I held myself back in that way, and it's always bothered me. But I always felt like it was just too hard to change. And from writing this book, I feel like I haven't felt that way. I felt like, yeah, I can change it, and I can take the actions, and I have, and I feel so much better from it. But it was funny because writing it really changed my point of view about myself, that in this one area, and for every reason that I've been talking about, it's because I grew up feeling very alone and very self-contained and shy and kind of self-protective in that way. And I just could never imagine not feeling that way. And then I realized it was an old feeling, wasn't appropriate today, and I could take the actions to change it. So yeah, I've actually changed myself in the process of writing this.
That's great. What are some actions that you take to be more romantic?
I make sure that I just take time to, I'm not busy all the time, and just to be close, just physically close, and to be affectionate and make eye contact. It's just, I don't know, it's funny, it's just sort of evolved too. You do one thing and then another, it's sort of, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it's just, I think also it's just become more natural to me.
And is that something that people can do? Like people, maybe they have kids and their lives are sort of routine, just to go out and do something different and be alone and not talk about practical things and just really connect.
Yeah. No, I think it's so easy for people in the busyness of their everyday lives to lose track of themselves and to lose track of the romantic, really close part of the relationship, and for their conversations to become all practical, and their schedules to be all driving kids around and doing the practical things that need to be done for life. But I do think it's important to schedule time to just be alone and just to make contact, and turn off the TV, and also do something different. That doing something different always breaks a person out of that sort of way of taking each other for granted. If you're not people who are physical, go on a hike together. If you do something really, go to a museum or so, do something really different, that for each of you. And another thing that's interesting is if your partner's interested in doing something, do what they're interested in, and then they can do what you're interested in. Mm-hmm. You got to get to know each other in a different way that way too. Mm-hmm. But it takes effort and it takes thought, because it's so easy just to fall into patterns.
What is the biggest message that you would like people to take away from this book?
I think the biggest message I would like people to take away from this book is that they really can change in a way that will really impact their relationships and will really enable them to have close, romantic, even long-term relationship that's meaningful with someone, mm-hmm. in which they're respected and they are respectful.